Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, and this is A Stable Life. Today is a very special day, guys. Do you know why? Because today isn't normally a day I'm here. That's right, guys. My parents went on vacation, which is super good, guys. I hope you have a great time. So now, while they're away, I'm taking care of all the animals, including the barn, the horses, Leia, and the donkeys. Can't forget the donkeys. We have some interesting weather on the way, and let's also give you guys an update on Sriracha. Hey, Sriracha. Good morning. Good to see you, buddy. Again, looks like he ate all of his hay, drank all of his water, and ate all of his food, which is really good, especially considering I haven't fed yet, which means that he's going to get all those things topped up, and we're going to be letting him out into the lower arena for today. Now, as for sickness, interesting thing about this, we actually don't know what he had. The vet is really perplexed on the whole situation. All the tests came back negative. So the good news is he doesn't have Lyme's disease, he doesn't have strangles, he doesn't have any of the other diseases that we mentioned, but he had something. We just don't know what it was. It's gone now, he's healthy again, but what we're doing right now is we're just making sure that it doesn't come back. That's why he's still in. He is on medication to continue his treatment just to make sure that whatever was in his body is thoroughly gone. And I'll be talking about his treatment here in a second. But for now, the main thing you guys need to know is that Sriracha is doing well, just anxious to get out. So today is not manure day, nothing like that. But we do have our basic feeding, and we do have some interesting things coming up with the weather. Potential for some snow, and then changing into a major rainstorm. Storms like that, we don't like the horses being out in them because it soaks through the blankets, especially when it's cold. Temperature's right around freezing right now, so we're gonna be keeping a close eye on things. Now for Sriracha's treatment, what we're doing, it's kind of interesting. He's getting one of these pill vials, which is full of medicine. We're taking that and we're dumping it into this cup, just like that. And then we're taking one container of unsweetened applesauce for flavoring, and we're just gonna dump that right in there too. And we just mix the powder with the applesauce until we get a nice fine mixture. We don't want any clumps or anything like that in the container. Scrumptious. Once we get a nice thorough paste, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. We're going to siphon it up into the syringe until we've got a nice full amount. And because it's applesauce, it's good flavor. We're gonna put that in his mouth. And squirting that all in there. I hope the wide lens caught that. For any fellow horse owners out there, don't you love when they take their head and they go flying over top of your head with it? Let me tell you, it's nice when you're 6'3" and they don't think that you're 6'3" and then their chin hits you right in the head. It's a good feeling. There's only really like a few horses, Rebel, that would ever do that to you. There you go. And there you guys go. We're doing that twice a day. That's getting the necessary medicine in there just to make sure that he's good. We're noticing from his demeanor, behavior, and his stool that he is healthy, so the treatment is definitely working. So good news for anybody that was worried about Sriracha. He's doing a lot better. Now that grain's done, we're working on hay. You know, neat little fact for you guys. This wheelbarrow is actually the original wheelbarrow that I used when I first started work here 12 years ago. I was 13 years old and my job was basically to take a manure fork, go out into the pasture, and scoop manure. And I would scoop manure into this wheelbarrow right here. And I'd be done once the wheelbarrow was full. That was the requirement for me to be done with work for the day. And now here I am, forking hay into that same wheelbarrow. Funny how things work, isn't it? Alrighty guys, good news, hay is done. So now we can get started on letting in the horses. Are you two okay over here? You two okay over here? Don't worry, we're gonna feed you in a second. There you go, Poncho. Yeah, what's up, Buster? What's up, Rocky? You guys ready for some grain? There you go, boys. You two are something else, you know that? Look at all that. Look at all that. Huh? All right, you two eat up. I gotta get the rest of the horses in. Hey, George. How are you doing this morning? Now you guys will notice that the horses are all naked. You could tell that they really have enjoyed being naked because by the looks of things, they're not clean anymore. They have rolled in all the mud they possibly could. Ain't that right, Roni? It's like a tradition for horses when they've had a blanket on for a while and they get it off, they get to just roll around in the mud as much as they want. Good morning, Roni. Good morning, William. Morning, Jack. Morning, George. Morning, Rebel. Morning, Champ. And last but not least, good morning, Casino. Good to see you, Casino. There we go. Good deal. That's all the horses. For the middle field, that is. All right, now normally I have you guys all the way down there with me when I'm letting the horses in, but today we're gonna do it just a little different. So I'm gonna go down there and let them in, and you guys can get a look at all of them as they come running by the camera. Well, aside from Tucker, we had no issues, which is pretty good to me. Now, right now, it is absolutely beautiful outside.
As you guys can see, the sun is shining, nice blue skies.
And the temperature isn't that bad either, which is nice. However, that's all going to change as the day progresses, and we're going to see a steady decrease in temperature and a steady increase in cloudiness, leading up to this afternoon where we're gonna start getting snow, changing over into rain. So because of that, the horses that are naked will need to be blanketed, with a chance of us even having to keep the horses in this evening. As far as round bales go, the feeders are pretty low. However, due to the rain and the forecast that we have ahead of us, I'm only gonna be putting out 2 of the 3 round bales because 2 of the 3 feeders that we're putting out have roofs over top of them. So that means that 2 bales will be okay being out in the rain because they won't get wet. The 3rd bale will just have to wait covered until tomorrow morning when the storm ends, and then I'll put that round bale out after the storm so that the bale doesn't get wet, spoiling it for the horses.
You ready, Leia?
Now this feeder definitely looks a lot better than last time we saw it, am I right? We've actually been really happy with how well this feeder's worked for our situation. There's a few things we want to improve when we make the next version of this feeder, but we're definitely getting things dialed in. If you're counting the same way I am, this is the 3rd bale, and I said that I wasn't gonna be putting out 3 bales today. Well, their feeder was completely empty, which meant that they would have no hay for today, and I can't have them go a day without any food to eat, especially if that means they're gonna be getting kept in their stalls overnight, which more than likely is going to happen, but we don't know for sure yet. All I can do is put this out, let them enjoy their food for today, just hope that they finish it when they come back. Being that this is in the middle field, there's a higher chance they will finish it just because they don't really have any of their options. But we won't know till we try, right? Let's get this wrap off the bale and then move on to caring for the horse's legs.
Now for the leg care, of course with Gavin, we're still working on getting his hair follicles back to the way that they should, which of course means we're using some Bannex. I don't know if you guys can tell, but his legs are improving so much. It's really nice to see that dramatic change.
That's why it's just so important to have a daily skincare routine. Am I right? And he left a lot of presents for me to clean up here once I let him out. And we just finished copper toxing Declan's hooves using the new stuff that you guys got us because we just ran out of all of our old supply because we're going through it so much. However, on a good note, Rebel, Skywalker, and George have all healed up really well, so they no longer need hoof treatments. We are still monitoring their legs, of course, to make sure nothing new spawns up. They're 100% back to the way they should be, which is awesome. So with all of their legs and hooves ready to go for them being turned out, then that means we just have one more thing left to do. Now I'm going to have to do this on all 23 horses, but I'm going to just demonstrate this on Suede for you guys. Now, Suede currently has what's called a sheet on, which is a light tier blanket. So we're gonna take this off of him, and we're gonna be putting on his medium. Now this, what I'm holding right here is the spot that's gonna go over his head. Over the head, just like that. Looking something like this. Then we're gonna go underneath. We've got 2 straps. We're going to hook into an X fashion. And then same for his back straps. They're going to go between his legs, behind his tail, and hook just like that. There you go. Now you have your blanketed horse. Now I'm gonna rinse and repeat that 22 more times. I'll see you guys at the donkeys. Now, unsurprisingly, the donkeys aren't that cooperative, so I have to get them in this barn first, both of them. And you can kind of see the difference in the demeanor of Rocky and Buster right here. See Buster? I can give a hug. Good miniature donkey, cuddly. Rocky, waiting outside. Attaboy, Buster. Oh my goodness, isn't Buster so good? You guys seeing this? And yeah, I gotta get on my knees in order to get the straps on for him. Okay, Buster's good to go. And Buster will happily take it for me, but I need to get it on Rocky. Let me see if I can get Rocky in here. All right, I'm gonna have to do some donkey wrangling. I'll be back. So, after some donkey wrangling, Buster thought it was fun, and Rocky I had to talk to quite a bit. Basically, once I had him cornered, we just kind of stood there and talked to each other a little bit. Calmed down enough that I was able to lead him in here. Now I'm able to put his blanket on. The ultimate goal, of course, being I don't want him to be scared of me. I want him to be comfortable with me, similar to how Buster is comfortable with me. It's okay. You're all right. Oh. See? Was that so bad, huh? You and I both know the answer is no. It was not that bad. You're like kids. You make everything bigger in your mind, and it's nowhere near as bad as you thought it was gonna be, huh? Good boy. Right, Buster? You're just jealous I'm giving him attention now, aren't you? There you go, kiddos. You're free to go. Thankfully, we got all the animals blanketed. You're too cute. You're killing me with this cuteness. Oh, my word. And while I was putting all the blankets on the horses, I was letting them out, so everybody's already turned out, so now we can move on to lunch.
They think they're so funny.
15, 15, 15, 15. Watch out, guys. We're coming up. 1,500. 2.5 now. 15, 17.5. 17.5 on the phone bill.
So for lunch, we had kielbasi sandwiches and a little bit of barbecue chips, right? It was pretty good. Do you mind explaining what's going on?
Daniel is trying to get a disc on an auction online.
I guarantee I'm not getting it.
Don't worry, guys. We'll let you know what happens either way. So some sad news. Daniel ended up not getting the disc. He got outbid at the last moment. He was a little sad about it, but there's probably going to be another disc another day. As for the weather, right now it's 1:27 p.m. and taking a look at how things are looking, you can see that there's nothing outside right now, but it's about to start by about 2:45 as light rain, and then it's going to change over into freezing rain and sleet by about 4 to 5 p.m. and transition into worse as the day goes on. So it's definitely looking like we're going to need to be keeping the horses in. How this is going to work is I'm going to be heading down and getting the stable ready for keeping the horses in, but it all starts with keeping accurate detail of the weather. Now the first thing that we're going to be doing before we let any of the horses in is making sure they have a clean stall. So that means cleaning up any manure that accumulated over the morning, putting it in our muck buckets, and also making sure that Sriracha's stall is clean and dry since he spends the night on a routine basis. Once all the stalls are clean, then the next thing that we're going to be moving on to is hay. Now for hay, you guys are pretty much used to the way we get the hay now. So I'm just going to be moving things back and forth with the wheelbarrow, filling it up with hay. Only difference is instead of doing it for a few horses that need it, it's going to be for every horse, including the donkeys and Tucker. That's why I'm thankful that we have a pitchfork. It makes moving hay very easy. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm full. One down, 24 to go. Now that we have all the hay taken care of, we're moving on to water. And what we're using is actually the pressure washer. As you can see, the hose is snaked all the way over to this way. And actually a lot of the clients are helping me get a lot done so that I'm able to get all the horses in at a reasonable hour. So we're using this to fill up the buckets so we don't have to take all the buckets and walk them back and forth. Takes a little bit longer in time, but it definitely means that you go to bed feeling a lot better. Alrighty guys, well the good news is all the horses are in the barn safe and sound. I'm just putting hay out here for Tucker and that's it. All the water's in all the stalls, so that means that we're done for today. We're gonna be picking things up tomorrow morning, but that's gonna be in the next video. So make sure that you're subscribed to keep up to date on all the future videos coming out, to see how the horses did spending their night here in the barn, and of course how excited they're going to be back outside and the cleanup that is going to be waiting for me tomorrow. So guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.